Welcome to another edition of Whiskey, Games, and Nerd Stuff. Today's whiskey is we're going to continue with the Shanky's Whip, and I had put it in some iced coffee this morning. Let's go ahead and take a sip. Oh, that is so good. So, I had a previous video where I talked about the Shanky's Whip, and I think I kept calling it Shane's Whip, not Shanky's Whip. But this is the best way I can describe this is like drinking a caramel frosting birthday cake. It's definitely a dessert drink. I do like it with the coffee. The iced coffee definitely hit the spot. And on this, it does say it's best served cold or on ice, and the ice definitely opens it up. Let's go ahead and show that bottle one more time. And then today's nerd stuff is a game. It's a game that I usually play at the airport or on the plane. I do travel a lot. I have a couple of copies of this. I can actually fit this. You can fit this in your back pocket. I've got a couple. I've always had one in my suitcase. I always keep one with me when I go. And I can usually just jam out a game or two at the airport while I'm waiting. And I've played many a game on the airplane. So basically, this is just a simple game where you get these cards. And the objective is to go ahead and build resources with them. So I'll go ahead and kind of walk through it and we'll start. So this is the rounds. You have 8 rounds. What'll happen is you get 2 cards. Once you get the 2 cards, you can look at them at the same time, and this is where you get the resources. So this is a resource. So I'm going to tap that for a fish resource. Right now I can't do anything with this card because it needs 2 woods and 2 fish. So I would go ahead and flip it in the back. Then I get to look at the next 2 cards. So this one I'm going to go ahead and tap, because now I have a fish and a wood. Well, this particular thing needs for housing, you need a fish and a wood. So I would take these, put them in the back, do what the card says, which is flip it upside down, and now I have a point. So then I would go ahead and continue. All right, so this one I've got 2 woods, so it would go right here. Now I can take these 2 woods, turn the card upside down, and now I have a rock that I can use, or quarry. Do that, do that. Okay. And you continue. We can only have 4 of these tapped over here on the side, so you'll continue to go through. Okay, I got 2 fish and a rock. Okay, I went through round 2. That just flips over to number 2. And now we go through the second round. So now I've got a couple options. I can hold on to this fish, or, and I do want to get to the rocks later, I'm going to take these 2 fish, and then this symbol right here is flip the card around like that. So now I have another rock. Let's do a fish. Got a wood. So now I have 4 pieces. So I can't get more than 4 on the side. Now, with that house we had, I need 1 wood, 1 fish, and 1 rock. So I would do this, flip it around, and now that turned into 3 points. So I would go ahead. As you can see, it's a pretty simple game that you can kind of just turn off your mind and play. I'll take these 2 woods, flip that upside down. And I'm doing this because you want to have the rocks built up for later. Okay, now I went through the second round, so we go to round 3. Gonna take that, flip that around, and see, now this one gives me 1 wood and 1 fish. Okay, so now I have to make a choice because I can't have more than 4, so I have to give up 1 to get that second fish. I need 1 wood and 1 fish, which is on this card, to turn that around. That becomes a logger, which now gives me a point. One wood, 1 fish to turn that house to get a point. And you can see, it's a very simple game to play. You can just kind of turn off your mind and go. Now we get to round 4, so we're halfway through the game. I'm going to give up a rock to get that. And let's see, you can only have 4, so I've got 2 woods, a rock, and a fish. I'm going to go ahead and turn this wood and fish in, turn that upside down, and now this gives me 2 fish and a wood. I'm going to take that wood and that rock to turn that card around, and now this will give me 2 woods. Okay. Can't make the temple yet. I need one wood and 1 fish to flip that around. So I need to hold on to some rocks. Uh-oh, now we're on round 5. So I've got 2 woods and a fish. I'm going to go ahead and do the 2 woods and a fish to turn that card around. Now it gives me points and it gives me 2 rocks. Give up that. Okay, now I need 2 fish, 2 woods, 1, 2, 2 fish, and 2 rocks. That will turn this around. And now this is the most points I can get for this particular card, which is the 6 points right there. So we'll continue to play. 1 wood, fish, rock. Turn that around. Okay, now we're on round 6. Now, knowing that at round 6, we've got to start strategically planning kind of what you want to do with the resources. So we'll kind of be a little bit more selective of what we're going to do with these. So now I've got, all right, so I do want to give up this 1 rock for the 2 rocks. I am going to want to, I do want to turn that card over, but I'm going to lose something. So what I'm going to do is use this, and basically I wasted a fish. However, it allows me to turn that over for the next go around. I will then use that fish to flip this over. Now we have a wooden fish. Okay, now I've got 2 woods and a fish to flip this card over. So again, we're building the resources for those last 2 pushes. Okay, so now I need, oh, I don't have the fish. One wood, nope, no fishes. So I kind of messed up there by not having any fishes on hand. So basically, I've kind of I had a bunch of useless cards at the end because I was not keeping the fish. So now we go to round 7. And you see how the different rounds, it's so easy, it just tells you what to do next. So now I've got 2 more playthroughs. So I am not going to use this one. Okay, we will give up that wood. So now we have the 2 fish that we want to hold on to for the next thing that we're going to build. Okay. I'm going to give up the rocks to have the fish. Okay, so now I need 2 woods, 2 fish, and 2 woods. Sorry, two woods, 2 fish, and 2 rocks. So I'm gonna waste another fish again, but this way we can flip that over and get the max points again for that card. And we're gonna quickly go through and see how much I messed up by not having more of those fish. So now this is gonna be our last round, round 8. So this is gonna be the last round that we have to build anything. So we are not going to want to hold on cards to the end, otherwise we're just kind of messing ourselves up. So I do need to make sure we have at least a fish. I'm going to use those two to flip this over because I knew there was going to be a point there. And with this at the last round, we want to get as many points as we can. All right. Yep, nope. Okay, we will want to... Hopefully we'll come across something we can build. So right now, we're kind of just messed up. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, I need a wood, a fish, and 2 rocks. A wood, a fish, and 2 rocks. So unfortunately what's going to happen, we're going to waste the fish again. So there's a wood, I got 2 fish, but that's okay. And the rocks, because I think we're close to the end. Flip that over to get the point on that one, and we are almost done. Yep, so that's the end of the round. So what would happen now is we will go ahead and count our points. So to count the points, we would take anything with the stars. And then we would count up our points. So we'd have 2, 4, 4 and 3 is 7. 7 and 2 is 9. 9 and 6 is 15. 17 and 23. And then I will count a second time. 6, 8, 14, 16, 19, 21, and 23. That is not a good score. And then what you can do is you can see how easy it is to put these pieces back. Everything that has this little pie, you just flip these cards over to put them back in the proper order. And then you would just shuffle them up. Usually I'll do a couple pile shuffles. And then you'd be ready for your next game. And you see how easy that is just to put back in here. So let me go ahead and take another sip of the coffee. Yeah, I definitely think this is the 8-ball whiskey is what I used to do, would be my go-to for putting a shot in the Sunday morning coffee. I think this definitely is going to replace it, or I'll alternate between the two. But yeah, I definitely I cannot recommend this highly enough, this Shanky's Whip. It's so good. And again, this was a gift from a colleague, and I truly appreciate it. Let's go ahead and show that again. And then this game is Palm Island. I think I got it for under 20 bucks on Amazon. You can actually get a box that'll have two of these. And then it'll also have some expansions to it where you can have some missions and things. I've played this game a number of times. Like I said, I'm usually playing this at the airport or on the plane. It's so easy just to have with you and just play. And I've had some interesting conversations at the airport lounges, or even to the people next to me when I'm playing a game. Just kind of talk about how, this is a nice, fun solo game to play. There's a number of people that I know have purchased this game just from sitting next to me on a flight for several hours where we've talked about the game. It was definitely a lot of fun. On that note, would really kind of like to have some recommendations of any games that you like to play on the plane that are small and compact like this that you enjoy, that's just been a fun experience. Actually had one of the flight attendants recognize me from a flight because she remembered me playing this game. I thought that was kind of cool. Or it could have been I fly a particular route several times and they just started to recognize me. Would really appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. It really would help with the YouTube analytics and help grow the channel. Usually I wasn't too worried about it because I was just kind of doing this stuff because I thought it was interesting, but I really would like to kind of grow it. So I really would appreciate it if you would just hit that like button, subscribe, and make a comment. Would also love to know what your whiskey of choice is for coffee. And until next time, cheers.